It's Thursday, February 23rd, 2023. This is FRC Media News. I'm Keith Tebow. Big changes taking place next week on Route 79. How will it impact your commute? The Fall River School Committee weighs in on one member's call for a pay raise, and the One South Coast Chamber is in the midst of its annual membership drive. All this and more coming up. Next week, city residents will begin to see a significant traffic impact related to the reconstruction of Route 79. On Monday, the high-speed expressway of Route 79 between Heritage State Park and the Veterans Memorial Bridge will be closed for good. The expressway will be demolished as part of the overall project of creating a boulevard that will connect downtown with the waterfront. Mayor Paul Coogan tells us traffic will still be accessible north and south along Duval Street on either side of the expressway. He recommends those who pass through on the expressway to seek an alternate route.
The businesses down there are going to obviously have easy access for their customers. The things that I want people to stress is if you're coming from north of the city, whether it's Boston, Brockton, stay on 24 a little bit longer. Whether you take the Highland Avenue exit to get to something in the Highlands, President Avenue to get to the Flint, or go all the way around and get off on Pleasant Street or Brayton Avenue to go to South End. I think if you use 24 and make that your commute home from anything north of the city, I think that'll keep what will become Duval Street access a little bit lighter. People just have to drive the extra couple of minutes on those roads. I know I have no problem doing it. Again, anywhere in the city is accessible from 24 and 195, so you don't have to go, down what was the 79 and get onto what's now going to be a lane or a boulevard of Duval Street when there's going to already be people there. We want the businesses down there to know that there is still going to be access to their facilities, so people can get down there. Bicentennial Park will still be open. All these things will still be in play. We're just trying to discourage people that if they're just using it as a drive-through, take another way down.
Also, the U-turn bridge at Brightman Street will be permanently closed. It will be replaced by a U-turn from Duval Street northbound to southbound, located at the existing Corey Street underpass and U-turn. With construction work taking place over the next 3 years, the mayor says plans are being put in place to minimize impact on events held at the waterfront this summer.
We have our 4th of July, which is a huge celebration down there. We're talking to some of the areas across the other side of Duval Street where there's some parking. We're going to firm it up. If it involves getting a bus to do some loops and help to transport people where they're going to minimize traffic, we're going to do those things during the construction period. And again, our eyes will be on when Duval Street opens up again, having some on-street parking, and we just don't want to impact the events too much that are going to go on down there in the summer. Obviously, we got a couple of concerts we're going to be putting on the city pier, and a couple other people have approached us about events. It's not firmed up yet, but we're working on them, so we want people to know that that's still going to be a recreation area for the city, and that will be our focus. But with parking may be a little bit hairier this year, so keep your eyes and ears open. As I said, we'll get through it.
Last month, we brought you the story of school committee member Kevin Aguiar's request for the City Council to consider changing the pay rate for the school committee to align it with that of the council. Each councilor makes just over $16,000 a year, while the school committee members make under $8,000. The council asked for input from other school committee members before taking action. That matter was up before the school committee last week. Mr. Aguiar argued that pay equity is an issue for many who serve on elected and volunteer boards and commissions within the city.
The purpose of this letter was to ask for their consideration to actually get it to the City Council, go to the Ordinance Committee, and let the Ordinance Committee do their due diligence. Back up, find out the information, how much other people get, what are we looking at, the timing. This is not something that we should do tomorrow and we're going to get a raise. This would be something that would go into effect the next election, no matter who gets elected. But I think it's a valid thing to look at. While at the same time, through the process, when you look across the city of Fall River, there's boards and commissions in the city of Fall River that don't make sense either. So they want people to donate and dedicate their time Well, there's no rhyme or reason why each board gets $100, one get none, some get 3,000, some get 5,000, they're different things. So I think this is something we're not making a decision here, but I definitely think it's food for thought in the future to let the ordinance committee do their due diligence and come up with either a plan, whether it's a multi-tiered plan, whether it's all at once, whatever it is. But it is definitely, in my opinion, having been dedicated to this school committee over the years, there's absolutely no way that the school committee should get 45% of the pay of a city councilor. I'm not demeaning the city council in any way, shape, or form. They deserve and earn the money that they get. But there's nobody that can tell me that we only should be getting 45% of what a city councilor gets.
School committee member Shelley Pereira agrees it may be a good idea to explore a pay increase, but based on the level of service those elected and volunteer board members provide to the city.
I would support us getting, by us, I mean not us, the future school committee, having a pay that is equal to the work they're doing. So if I'm looking at, okay, this body meets once a month, the city council meets twice a month. You know, this body, we're also on committees, subcommittees, so are they. We have finance meetings, so do they. So, I mean, do I think we should be getting, and also we're dealing with the population of the school district, right? Which, you know, don't get me wrong, my phone blows, you know, can ring off the hook on days, but nothing like, nothing like if I was on the city council. I can guarantee you that. So, you know, which is fine, which is why, you know, I'm here. You know, this is what I choose to do because I'm passionate about it. And like everybody is saying here, it really doesn't matter if the pay is equal or not. If you're on the school committee, it's because you're passionate about our students, you're passionate about our educators and our school district.
Other members were interested in sending the matter for further study. Mr. Aguiar said salary inequities have been an ongoing problem in the city, and if rectified, might entice others to pursue public service.
This has been going on for years. So this is something that needs to get looked at. So in the future, somebody might say, hey, you know what, I'm going to go put my name on the line. I'm going to go out and take the risk, and I'm going to get compensated accordingly, the same as the city councilor. Nobody should have to make a decision to say, well, I'll make another $9,000, so let me run for city council. If you're passionate about the schools, you should be running for the schools, regardless of what pay. And for anybody out there that's going to say, well, what are you doing? You just want to get the money? I'll tell you right now, I'm running for school committee again. I don't give a care if I get paid $7,000 or $0. It's not why I'm doing this. At the end of the day, we shouldn't have to make that determination. The city council, it's their purview. Let them analyze it and come up with a plan.
It's still unclear how or if the city council will act upon Mr. Aguiar's request. Last week, the City Council unanimously approved the appointment of Michelle Hamilton to serve as the city's next veterans agent. Mayor Coogan says Ms. Hamilton has connections with local veterans organizations that will be of benefit in her new role.
She's a high-energy individual, a strong commitment to veterans. Obviously, she's a veteran. She knows exactly what the process and benefits are that veterans are eligible to get from our Veterans Office. She's already here, I believe. I have seen her a number of times prior to that. She was involved with a number of veterans activities, whether it was the parade or any of our celebrations down at the wall. Michelle was always around, 100% committed to making veterans' lives better. Works well with other people, and I think going forward she'll be an asset to the city.
Mayor Coogan also gave us an update recently on a master plan to revitalize Pleasant Street and the Flint neighborhood.
That's a series of conversations that go on and on and on. Different people step up and they want to do something, then they kind of back up a little bit, and then someone else steps up. But with that being said, people have to know that Pleasant Street's a valuable piece of property all up and down Pleasant Street. There's a lot of potential there. You look at the piece at the corner of Eastern Avenue in Pleasant. That gentleman bought that piece of property in I think 2016 for $460,000. He sold it last week for $1.4 million. So there are potential investment opportunities on Pleasant Street, and we just have to get people to step into it and see what they want to do. I know there's some ideas floating around with a couple of people that are already on Pleasant Street. but we have to get some work going down there. Again, it's fits and starts, but we're not going to back off on this at all. We got to get Pleasant Street back into the mix.
We'll have more FRC Media News right after this.
Here are some job descriptions on the latest hot jobs list from the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center. Warehouse operator, Invigen, located at 927 Current Road, is seeking a full-time warehouse operator responsible for receipt and dispensing of raw materials and packing materials. Job number 182-87685. Program Aid Family Service Association, located at 101 Rock Street, is looking for a full-time program aide to assist the activity director and program coordinator with the day-to-day activities by the program's daily operation. Job number 183-01478. Commercial Insurance Assistant Account Manager. Hub International, located at 222 Milliken Boulevard, is looking for a full-time commercial insurance assistant account manager to work closely with account managers and client execs on pre-renewal processes, information, and assembling complete renewal submissions. Job number 183-08307. Donation Center Attendant. Planet Aid Incorporated, located at 495 Pleasant Street, is looking for a part-time donation center attendant. For more information, call 888-893-0648. The Fall River Public School Department, located at 417 Rock Street, has an immediate need for the following full and part-time positions at Durfee High School. Assistant Boys Volleyball Coach, job number 183-12505. Boys Outdoor Track and Field Assistant Coach, job number 183-12512. For more information about these and other positions, visit Mass Hire JobQuest at jobquest.dcs.eol.mass.gov or call the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center at 508-730-5000.
Welcome back. The One South Coast Chamber of Commerce is in the midst of its annual membership drive. Chamber CEO Michael O'Sullivan tells us Chamber membership has remained consistent, especially since the region has come out of the effects of the pandemic.
Membership right now is flat. It's around 1,300. It's close to flat. You know, in the last couple of years, we had not stopped members who didn't pay us. You know, in the middle of COVID, you know, people were struggling, and we worked with our board and we said, you know what, we're not going to stop people right now. We're going to make sure that they get their services, and we're going to do what's right for the community. And we worked hard to make sure that we provided services for people, whether they were actually a paid member or not. In 2022, we really went through and we cleaned that up. We reached out to a lot of people, and, you know, fortunately, most of them paid us, but we did, you know, our new sales were pretty much flat with the number of people who we ended up having to stop in 2022.
Membership rates are based on the number of employees. Mr. O'Sullivan says businesses considering membership may not realize the diversity of services the Chamber offers.
Small businesses, to understand the value of joining a chamber, sometimes can be challenging. But, you know, we just work hard to try to get them to understand exactly what it is that we offer them, because you could have a hair salon wants to join the chamber for one reason, and you could have another business that has 5 or 6 employees right next door that wants to join for a whole different group of reasons. You know, it starts with, you know, we like to say sort of on the high end, it starts with advocacy. You know, a lot of our larger members really are interested in the advocacy, what we can do with our relationship with the legislators, you know, our understanding of what's going on Beacon Hill, you know, those kinds of things, to really try to help them, you know, understand what's happening with new employment laws and just new tax laws and things like that. And then you've also got smaller businesses that maybe are One South Coast Human Resource Council can help them, or we run small business series, you know, which is sponsored by Bristol County Savings Bank. and you know, and we do topics that are great for small business.
Businesses who join by next Tuesday, February 28th, will be eligible to receive some valuable extra benefits provided by fellow members.
We have great participation from many of our media members, offering offering packages. If you join the chamber during the drive, you can get ads in local IQ. You can get ads in print, television ads. We get a lot of great participation from our ambassadors and our members who really want to see the chamber thrive.
For more information on the Chamber's membership drive, you can contact the Fall River office at 508-676-8226 or go online at onesouthcoast.com. We'll wrap up this edition of FRC Media News after this.
Welcome to Hot Dogs and Cool Cats. Here we have Tyler. Tyler here is a 1-year-old hound mix. Since he is a hound mix, he is going to need lots of space, lots of places to roam and do his own thing. We suggest somebody who has their own property and time to actually hang out with him and do all the training he will need. We do suggest kids over 12 because he's so happy and crazy. So we don't want any children getting knocked over by him. As you can see, this is what I mean by the slappiness. He likes to use his paws and hang out. I do feel like he'll be a quick learner for anybody, so he will definitely pick up on tricks and all that kind of fun stuff as you go. If you would like to come and see Tyler, feel free to fill out an application, and then once you get approved, feel free to set up an appointment with us and we can move forward with the application. Hopefully we can find Tyler a nice, wonderful forever home. Here we have Guinevere. Guinevere is a 9-month-old kitten. She is an owner surrender, so she came from the local area. She would need a home that is going to take the time to let her settle in and let her get used to everything before you go and try to touch her, before you try to pet her. She can be a real sweetheart as long as you give her the time to settle. She is a sweetheart once she gets to know you. If you would like to come and meet Miss Guinevere, please fill out an application at foreverpaws.com, and you can come and see her and the rest of our cats and hopefully find your forever friend.
That's all for this edition of FRC Media News. Visit our website, frmedia.org, for all the latest news and local information. FRC Media News airs Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Fridays at 5:30 p.m. For all of us at FRC Media News, I'm Keith Tebow. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next Thursday.